Hi guys, this is the EdExcel GCSE 9-1 Maths Paper 2 from the Foundation tier, and it's from the November 2020 series. So for question number 1, we have to write 0.37 as a fraction, and to do this simply type in the decimal into your calculator. So we type in 0.37 and it turns out we get over here 37 over 100. For question 2, we have to write 29,381 correcting the nearest 1000. Well, if you look at the 1000 column over here, the digit after, which is this 3, that's less than 5, so we don't need to change this 9, so we have here 29,000. For question 3, we have to simplify 3e minus e plus 4e, so here you can see we end up with 6e. Question 4, we have to write 1/4 as a percentage. Well, to convert a fraction to a percentage, we multiply by 100, so we have 1/4 times 100, turns out here we get 25. So we have 25%. Question 5, we've got a list of numbers here, 3, 4, 9, 18, 27, 30 and 36. We have to write down a cube number, and you'll notice here 27 is a cube number, of course. 27 is the same as 3 cubed. Question number 6. Liz is watching a film at a cinema. The film started at 14:30. The film is 105 minutes long. When the film ends, Liz takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. A bus leaves the bus stop at 16:45. Does Liz get to the bus stop in time to get this bus? You must show all your working. Well, over here, we can convert the 105 minutes into hours and minutes. So to go from minutes to hours, we would have to divide 60, and to go from hours to minutes, we would have to multiply by 60. So 105 divided by 60, that's 7/4, which is the same as 1 3/4. So 105 minutes, that's the same as 1 hour, and the 3/4 over here of an hour would represent 45 minutes. So this is the same as 1 hour, 45 minutes. So that's how long the film is. And once the film ends, she takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. So, first of all, let's see what time the film ends. So the film ends, we've got 14:30 PM plus this 1 hour, 45 minutes. So it turns out here, the film ends at 16:15 PM, and then she walks home to the bus stop. It takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop, so therefore she's at the bus stop by 16:15 PM plus 20 minutes, which is 16:35 PM, and therefore we can conclude over here she gets to the bus time in time. Okay. Question 7. Farhad, George and Tom each did a test, and we've got their marks shown here. So Farhad scored 74, George scored 77 and Tom scored 72, and George drew this bar chart to show the marks they got, and the bar chart is not fully correct. So what we have to do over here in this question is identify the two things that are wrong with the bar chart. First of all, there's no label for the vertical axis, the mark, and the second thing is that the bars are not the same width. Question number 8. ABC is a straight line, and for the first part we have to work out the size of the angle marked x. Well, over here, angles on a straight line add up to 180, so we have over here x plus 150 equals 180, and if we subtract 150 from both sides, you'd find over here x is equal to 30. So x is equal to 30, and the reason for this, angles on a straight line add up to 180. Now for the next part of the question, the diagram below is wrong. We have to explain why. Well, first of all, we know that angles around a point sum to 360. So we've got 90 degrees here, plus the 280, and it turns out here we get 370. Okay? So therefore, this diagram is incorrect. Question number 9. The scale can be used to change between kilometers and miles, and we have to use the scale to change 40 kilometers to miles. So 40 kilometers, that's over here, and the miles over here is halfway in between 20 and 30, so we have 25 miles. And now for part B, here is an approximate rule to change from kilometers to miles. We first of all divide by 10 and then multiply by 6, and we have to use this approximate rule to change 40 kilometers into miles. So what we have over here is 40 divided by 10, and then we will multiply this result by 6. So here we have 4 times by 6, which is 24. Okay? So we have 24 miles. And then for part C, we have to compare our answer to part B with our answer to part A. Clearly, the answer to part B is smaller than the answer to part A. Question 10, we have to solve 3m equals 36. So first thing, divide both sides by 3. And if we do that, m is equal to 36 divided by 3, which is 12. And then we have to solve 7 minus x equals 3. Well, if I add x to both sides, we have 7 equals x plus 3. And now if I subtract 3 from both sides to get x by itself, you'd find here 7 take away 3, that's 4. So x is equal to 4. Question 11, we've got a cuboid over here with width 10 centimeters, length 15 centimeters, and height 4 centimeters. We have to work out the volume of this cuboid. So here we've got 4 centimeters times by 10 centimeters times by 15 centimeters. Turns out here we'll get 600 centimeters cubed. Don't forget your units. So we have 600 centimeters cubed. Question number 12. Lucy uses a code to open a lock. The code is a letter followed by a 2-digit number. The letter is L or U. The number is a prime number between 20 and 30. We have to write down all the possibilities for Lucy's code. So first of all, over here, the prime numbers between 20 and 30, those are 23 and 29. And over here, the letter can be an L or U, so we can have L23, or we can have L29, or we can have U23 or U29. So this over here is our possible combinations for the code. Question 13. A machine fills bags with sweets. There are 4275 sweets. There are 28 sweets in each bag. In each full bag, the machine fills as many bags as possible. How many sweets are left? So over here, the number of bags that could be filled, so bags that could be filled, we have 4275 divided by 28, which is 152.6. Okay, so this is approximately 152 bags. Okay, we can use this to find out how many sweets will be used. So sweets used, this is equal to 152 multiplied by 28, which is 4256, and therefore the number of sweets left, this is equal to 4275 take with 4256, which is 19. So we get 19 sweets which are left over. Question number 14. The table gives information about the number of goals scored by each of 3 teams. So we've got City, Rovers and United, and the number of goals. We have to draw an accurate pie chart for this information. So the first thing we need to do is find out the angle. So the angle, that's equal to the frequency divided by the total times by 360. So it would make sense for us to create another column called the angle. So the total over here, 50 plus 45 plus 25, that's 120. So the angle corresponding to City, that will be 50 over 120 times 360, which is 150. Then we've got Rovers, which is 45 over 120 times 360, which is 135. And United, that's 25 divided by 120 times 360, which is 75. So these are our various angles. So we now need to grab a protractor as shown here. 150 degrees, well here we've got one, what we've got over here for 150, 180, that's over here. So we've got 150 over here. Okay, and then so let's just mark that on. So here we've got City, and then now we need to draw 135 degrees. So grab your calculator. So 135 degrees, that is that is over here somewhere. So let's just mark that on. So 135, that was over here somewhere. Let's just rub this line out. And this over here corresponds to Rovers. And the last one that's left is the 45 degrees here, sorry, the 75 degrees, which is united. And it wouldn't hurt to add in the angles as well. So here we've got 150 degrees. Here we've got 135 degrees. And here we've got 75 degrees. Question 15. We've got t which is equal to 3x plus 4y, and we have to work out the value of t when x is equal to 5 and y is equal to minus 7. So when x is equal to 5 and y is equal to minus 7, t that's equal to 3 lots of 5 plus 4 lots of minus 7. So here we get 15 minus 28, which is minus 13. And now we have to work out the value of y when t is equal to 36 and t is equal to 38 and x is equal to 6. So to do this part of the question, all we have to do is substitute these values in. So here we get t equals 38 and x is equal to 6. So we get 38 equals 3 lots of 6 plus 4y. So we get 38 equals 18 plus 4y. We need to solve for y. So first of all, take 18 from both sides. So if I take 18 from both sides, we get 20 equals 4y. And now if I divide both sides by 4, you can see here y is equal to 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Question number 16. An exam has two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 has 60 marks and paper 2 has 90 marks. The pass mark is 2/3 of the total number of marks, and Daniel got 70% of the marks for paper 1. And we have to find out how many of the marks for paper 2 must Daniel get in order to get the pass mark. So first of all, it would make sense for us to work out the total number of marks. So if we do that, the total number of marks, that's equal to 60 plus the 90, which is 150 marks. And therefore the number of marks needed to pass, so the number of marks needed to pass, that's 2/3 of the total number. So here we get 2/3 of 150, which is 100. So we need 100 marks to pass. So we require 100 marks to pass. So she got 70% of marks in paper 1. So in terms of marks, that is 70% of 60, that's equal to 42. So she got 42 marks in paper 1. We know that we need 100 marks in total to pass, so therefore the number of marks required for paper 2, we have 100 take away 42, which is 58. So she needs 58 marks to pass paper 2. Okay, now for question number 17, Scott wants to make orange juice. He is going to buy boxes of oranges, and there are 24 oranges in each box of oranges, and 30 oranges make 2 litres of orange juice. Scott needs to buy enough oranges to make 8 litres of orange juice. We have to work out the number of boxes of oranges that Scott needs to buy. You must show all your working. So we're told in the question we require 30 oranges to make 2 litres. So therefore for 8 litres, of course multiplying by 4, 30 times by 4, that's 120. So 120 oranges are required to make 8 litres of juice. So therefore the number of boxes we require, we know already that we have 120 oranges. There's 24 oranges in each box. So therefore the number of boxes, that's equal to 120 divided by 24, which is 5. So therefore we require 5 boxes. And now for part B, Scott also buys 1260 apples and 280 bananas. We have to write down the ratio of the number of apples that Scott buys to the number of bananas that he buys. Give you a ratio in its simplest form. So the ratio of apples to bananas, you can see that's equal to 1260 to 280. And if we divide both sides by 10, so if I divide by 10 first of all, we get 126 to 28. And now we can divide both sides by 2. So if I divide both sides by 2, we get here 63 to 14. And then we can divide both sides by 7. So if we divide both sides by 7, it turns out here we get 9 to 2. So that's our ratio, 9 to 2. Question 18, we've got shape A and shape B, and we have to describe the single transformation that maps A to B. So we've got rotation by 180 degrees, center minus 1, 0. For question 19, Adam, Linda and Ritis share an amount of money. Linda gets 3 times as much money as Ritis gets. Linda gets half as much money as Adam gets. What fraction of the amount of money does Linda get? Well, here, Linda gets 3 times as much as R, and she gets half the amount Adam gets, so L is also equal to 1/2 A. So if we express this as a ratio, so L to R to A, Linda gets 3 times as much as R, so the ratio between L to R is 3 to 1, and she gets half the money Adam gets, so multiplying the 3 by 2, we get 6. So therefore, Linda would get, as a fraction, we have here 3 plus 1 plus 6 on the bottom, and on the top we get 3. So if we tidy this up, turns out we get 3/10. Question 20. Pens and pencils are sold in a shop. 12 pencils cost £1.80. The ratio of the cost of a pen to the cost of a pencil is 73. We have to work out the cost of 5 pens. So with this we can find out the cost of 1 pen. So 180 divided by 12, that's equal to 15. So we have 15p per pencil. And we know that the ratio of pens to pencils, that's equal to 7 to 3. So what we can do over here, we know that the cost of a pencil is 15. So to go from 3 to 15, we multiply by 5. 7 times by 5, that's 35. So therefore, the cost of a pen is 35p. So this is cost per pen. So therefore, for 5 pens, we've got 5 times by 35 now. this is 175p, and if we divide this by 100 to get this into pounds, we get £1.75. Question 21, we have to write 84 as a product of its prime factors. So this 84 we can split up into 2 times by 42. 42 we can split up into 2 times by 21, and the 21 we can split up into 3 times by 7. So 84 is equal to 2 times by 2 times by 3 times by 7, and then finding the lowest common multiple of 60 and 84. Well, the 60 we can split up into 2 times by 30, 30 we can split up into 3 times by 10, 10 we can split up into 2 times by 5, so 60 is equal to 2 times 3 times 2 times 5, and therefore the lowest common multiple, well, we've got a 2 over here which is common to both. We've got a 3 over here which is common to both. We've got this 2 over here which is common to both. And then we've got the other numbers left over, the 5 and the 7. Okay, so we've got the 2 over here, and then we've got 5 and 7. And if we multiply all these together, it turns out here we get 420. So the lowest common multiple is 420. Question 22, we've got a set of numbers 1 to 10, and A are the numbers which are even, and B are the factors of 10, and we have to complete the Venn diagram for this information. So for this question, the numbers which are even numbers, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10, and the factors of 10, we've got the 1, the 2, the 5 and the 10. So what goes into both? That's the 2 and the 10. The numbers which are factors of 10 only, that's the 1 and the 5. Even numbers only, 4, 6 and 8. And the rest of the numbers, we've got 3, 7 and 9. And for part B, a number is chosen at random from this universal set. We have to find the probability that this number is in the set A and B. So there's 2 numbers which are in A and B, and there's 10 numbers in total, so therefore we get 1/5, which is the same as 2 over 10. Okay, so now for question number 23, Carlo puts tins into small boxes and into large boxes. He puts 6 tins into each small box and he puts 20 tins into each large box. Carlo puts a total of 3,000 tins into the boxes, so that the ratio of the number of tins in small boxes to the number of tins in large boxes is equal to 2 to 3. Carlo says that less than 30% of the boxes filled with tins are large boxes. Is Carlo correct? Show your working. So here you can see from this ratio, 2 plus 3, that's 5. So here we get 5 parts. Okay. So therefore we can use this information to find out the number per part. So 3,000 divided by 5, that's equal to 600 per part. So the number of tins in small boxes, so number of tins in small boxes, that's equal to 2 times by 600, which is 1200, and the number of tins in large boxes, that's equal to 3 times by 600, which is 1800. So therefore the number of boxes we require for small, so small boxes, we have 1200 divided by 6, which is equal to 200, and large boxes, we've got 1800 divided by 20, which is 90. So therefore the total number of boxes is equal to 200 plus 90, which is 290. So therefore the number of the percentage of boxes filled with tins, which are large boxes, we've got here 90 over 290 times by 100. So if we work this out, 90 divided by 290 and then multiply this by 100, it turns out here we get 31.0 etc. %. So therefore this is the percentage of boxes filled with tins which are large boxes, and therefore you can conclude over here this is not equal to the 30% which Carlo said, so therefore we can conclude Carlo is incorrect. Okay, so now for question 24 we have to complete the table of values for y equals 5 minus x cubed in between minus 2 and 2. So when x is equal to minus 2, well, what we can do actually, we can go to the table function on our calculator, type in this function. We will start at minus 2, we will finish at 2. So here we get 13, 6, that's already plotted for us. Here we get 5, here we get 4, here we get minus 3. So now we have to plot these. So this is the graph of y equals 5 minus x cubed, as shown here. Okay, so now for the next question. We've got a triangle over here, an angle here of 34 degrees, 178 millimeters here, and x millimeters here. We have to find the value of x. So if we label our triangle, we've got an angle given to us. Opposite this angle is the x, so this is the opposite. The larger side, which is opposite the right angle, that's the hypotenuse. What connects the opposite to the hypotenuse, that's sine. So we've got sine of 34 equals opposite x over hypotenuse 178. So x is equal to 178 times by the sine of 34. So if we work all of this out, 178 times by the sine of 34, we get 99.5 etc. So to one decimal place, we've got 99.5 millimeters. Question 26, we've been given that a is equal to 3, 4 and b is equal to 5 minus 2. We have to find 2a minus 3b as a column vector. So here we've got 2 lots of a, so we've got 2 lots of 3, 4, minus 3 lots of b, so 3 lots of 5 minus 2. So 2 times by 3, that's 6, 2 times by 4, that's 8. So we get 6, 8 minus, well, 3 times by 5, that's 15, 3 times minus 2, that's minus 6. So working out the difference between these, 6 minus 15, that's minus 9, 8 minus minus 6, that's 8 plus 6, which is 14. So we get minus 9, 14. For question 27, the diagram shows a right angled triangle and a quarter circle. So AC, that's equal to 9 meters, AB, that's equal to 6 meters, and ABC and this angle here, BCD, are 90 degrees. We've got a quarter circle here with center C and radius CB. We have to work out the area of the quarter circle. For that, we need to work out the radius first. And the radius is this length CB, and we can find that out using Pythagoras. So CB, that's equal to 9 squared minus 6 squared, square rooted. So if we work this out, 9 squared minus 6 squared, and then square root this, we get 3 root 5. So this length over here is 3 root 5 meters, and therefore this length will also be 3 root 5 meters because the radius is the same. So therefore the area, well, the area of a circle, that's equal to pi r squared, and then we divide this by 4 because we've got a quarter circle. So here, if we work all of this out, we've got pi lots of 3 root 5 squared divided by 4. So here we get 45 pi over 4 meters squared. And therefore this to 3 significant figures. 45 pi divided by 4, that's equal to 35.3 meters squared. Okay. Question 28. Each exterior angle of a regular polygon is 15 degrees, and we have to work out the number of sides of the polygon. Well, the exterior angle, let's just write this down, that's equal to 360 divided by the number of sides. So therefore, the number of sides, that's equal to 360 divided by the exterior angle. So the number of sides, that's equal to 360 divided by 15, which is 24. So therefore we've got 24 sides. And now for question 29, we have to write down the gradient of the line with the equation y equals 2x plus 3. Well, if we compare this to y equals mx plus c, m over here is our gradient, c over here is our y intercept. So therefore the gradient here is equal to 2. Okay, so that's the end of the paper. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and if there are any questions, please feel free to comment them in the comment section below.